What's good, everybody, and welcome back to Koffee with Tia, episode 4, part 2. We are in a continued conversation with author, artist, and social activist Lida Sherafatmand. In the part 2, we dive deeper into Lida's inspiration and get to know her up close and personal. Lida also reveals some of her future projects she intends to work and exhibit on. Earlier in part 1, we were given a walkthrough of the beautiful art exhibited by Lida, Flowers of Meaning on Second Life. I was very much mesmerized by the lovely inspiration and message behind each of the beautiful artworks on display. To expand on this a bit further, we have invited both Rick and Lida into our studios, who will give us a bit more insight on displaying the beautiful artworks of Lida and bringing it into a virtual reality platform for the very first time. So without holding you up any further, let's continue our conversation with Lida Sherafatmand and Rick Maloney. So Lida, I really want to know what inspired you to become an artist.
I did my first drawing when I was 3 years old. It was at a time when my birth city had just been bombarded during the war, Iran-Iraq war. And being a 3-year-old, I thought it was my fault. I thought I had done something wrong. And God was punishing us because of that. So I was crying and I was looking at the sky. I thought there was God in the sky. So I was saying, please tell me what I did wrong. I promise I will not do it again. And while looking at the sky, waiting like for somebody to appear and give me an answer, suddenly I saw the sun, and the sounds made forms of angels, and the angels were dancing on the clouds and sending flowers down for people. So let's say that was the first vision that I had, or the first image that I saw in my mind's eye. And then I went and got my crayons and drew that picture on a paper, and then I showed it to my mother. And I said, I think we're supposed to be listening to the sun singing and dancing. I think we're not supposed to be bombing our houses. Why don't people do that? And that's a very hard question to answer. I felt inside that I wanted to draw to make people happy. Then later on, when I was 19, I went to art school to take art as my main path. After a few years that I was exhibiting a lot during conferences of NGOs, and I was always exhibiting on peace topics. And what happened was that many people started to criticize me. They would say, oh, it's nice you talk about peace with your paintings, but you're just a little sissy girl talking about peace. You don't know anything about the real problems of the world. That got me thinking, So I went to study. I decided to go to university to study international relations and political science. So I did a bachelor, a master's, and I also gave in a doctorate dissertation proposal, which was accepted. But I have frozen that until today because I wanted to go back to painting. But now when I exhibit, people cannot tell me, oh, you're a little girl who doesn't know anything about the problems of the world, because then people take degrees seriously somehow. But I mean, I'm glad that I did the study because it did give me a sort of foundation knowledge about nature of conflicts, what today's scholars think about transcending conflicts, what the older philosophers have thought about human nature. So what I do is I give usually public talks when I have an exhibition, pass on the knowledge and explain them through the painting. So let's say if the painting is talking about suffering, like the volcano of grace that we saw, I explain how that internal state of suffering influences our relations with the outside world, both as individuals and also as collectives. So for example, if majority of people in a country are often in a state of suffering, how does that influence the relations of that country with other countries? In a way, I try to pass on knowledge on our human nature, because I think that type of knowledge is very empowering, gives us tools how to use our human nature constructively to transcend conflict in a way which benefits us and other people. To answer your question, how did I decide to become an artist? It was there at the beginning, and then I kind of matured it along the way.
I think it's very positive thought behind it and a very unique one as well, I've heard so far. You get visions right from the very childhood, and now that you've matured your art and, took it a step further, you embark on the knowledge and the elegance and the peace element of the aspect of your paintings that you convey through, bringing a harmonious impact on the different nations. And I think that's very commendable, and it speaks high volume knowing that you have backed up with the degree, backed up with the knowledge. So I think it's very inspiring for others, and also it's we look up to you as an inspiration as well, especially during the hardship times that you faced during childhood, and now that how beautifully you have elaborated your experience and made an inspiration out of it. So really a very commendable job there, Lida. So Lida, speaking about the power that you hold, I know that you're a social advocate, and that is truly very inspiring by the work that you do out there for the public. You also have free public lectures, free human right art education kits for youngsters, and so tell us a bit more about what motivated you to start this social advocacy, please.
Yes, so I think I can go back to that original experience of war, and when I thought I want to, make people happy with my paintings. Along the way with exhibitions, I realized that to increase that, to accomplish that wish, I needed to complement my art with some other activities. So there was a point when I was very engaged with NGOs. I was very active with Amnesty International and other NGOs in the sector of human rights. And that's when I wrote an education kit, which simplifies every article of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights of the United Nations, the one of the 1948. It simplifies it to a simple phrase, to a small phrase for children, youngsters to understand. Put an art and craft exercise with each article so that they can grasp the concept better. And I thought that, let's say, in countries which are doing well economically, maybe there is no issue for distributing this book to different schools. But in countries which are not doing well economically, that is where such knowledge is also needed. So I didn't want the money issue to be an obstacle, powering tool and knowledge to be out there. I made the kit downloadable, and also the lectures that I give free are on this human nature research that I have done. I do it with a sincere wish of seeing a better world than I saw when I was a child, even though today, unfortunately, witnessing wars, even as close as in Europe, as you know, at the moment, the Russian-Ukraine. But at least, I have my conscience in peace that I have done my little part. The rest is on other people's shoulders, and I hope to inspire them to do their little part also.
The power of knowledge and education definitely impacts the being into becoming more understanding and tolerant. And your work, bringing harmony amongst the nations, is very inspiring. I'm sure the many kits you offer will be useful to many, and we will see more peace and positivity into the world. Okay, so moving on to Rick. So Rick, how did you come across Lida, and what motivated you into introducing Lida into Second Life? And tell me, what is the future of such artists into a virtual reality platform like Second Life?
Well, Tia, thank you so much for having me again. I really appreciate your invite again. Lida came here to the Netherlands last week to show her her amazing artwork. I've been a fan from the beginning that she had her exhibition. So she had her exhibition in Alsmeer in the Netherlands here. We were invited since my partner is a diplomat. The exhibition, and I just fell in love with it. And I was actually bombarding her with questions because for me the paintings are so beautiful. But I wanted to know the understanding and the meaning behind every painting, right? So I got in touch with Lida, and we actually bonded really well. So she was later on invited then to The Hague to also show her exhibition over here, and that's what we've been busy now with for the last couple of days. So on Monday and on Tuesday we had the exhibition in real life, and the turnout was amazing. I mean, everything was completely packed. As owner in Second Life, how about we do a collaboration and we do an exhibition in Second Life? Again, Lida is completely new to virtual worlds and everything, so I wanted to guide her first, and I wanted to show her what the possibilities are here in Second Life. I was really excited, and so we decided to also start working on the exhibition directly. Sleepless nights, literally the last few days, but the turnout is amazing. I mean, we've just visited the exhibition in Second Life together, and I just hope that you also experience the same vibe. I think it's just so stunning, and it's really a must. So I would love to invite everybody to come over and check out the exhibition, because it's really mind-blowing, honestly.
I will have to agree with you, Rick, on the impact Lida's paintings have on all of us over here. I also felt a sense of love and positivity, and I think everyone should definitely check out Lida's gallery on Second Life. I will be linking the landmark down in the description, so you guys could go check out the wonderful exhibition Lida has put out for all of you in Second Life. Do you think, Lida, that you would have your artworks out for purchase on Second Life? And what do you think? Would you have a price tag on Second Life for your artworks ever in the future? In real life, how do people get in contact with you if they want to purchase your artwork then?
Are available for sales, but the ones which are on show are the originals are already sold. However, I provide reproduction prints which look like the original, but they are reproductions. Also provides a chance for people with different budgets, because these are much less expensive than the originals. The originals take about 150 hours of work. I think the idea is, I'm definitely open for the idea, but how the prices would have to be adapted for Second Life purchases, that I would have to leave in Rick's hands.
Yeah, that's something that we have to discuss.
Yeah.
So every painting and every little explanation is linked to her page. So literally, if you just click on the painting, you will be directed to the web page of her.
And if I may add, there is also the possibility of commissioning on any theme that people want. For example, recently I was really joyed to receive a painting commission. One author who had been imprisoned in Iran during his university student time, because, you know, as a social sciences student, some articles which he had written, let's say, were not liked by the government. And so they put him 6 months in solitary confinement. And his partner wanted to commission a painting which can transform that memory in him to something better. And she left it in my hands because she has seen that my paintings are all about, you know, transforming things. I created a painting. I'm meditating. I put myself inside a solitary confinement, turned that into what we call dark night of the soul. You know, when you are faced only with your own darkness and nothing else, no distractions, you let the darkness turn into like a type of compost from which flowers can grow and light can start to come in. I did a painting and it was really nice. It told me I'm in tears. I can really feel the healing vibe in this, and it's so lovely to look at for hours. And I mean, now people know the style that I draw, so they just give me the theme, what they would like to feel in that painting, what they would like to experience, what they want to transform in their life. So that would be for originals. I mean, I am preparing at the moment my new collection, but before the new collection is out, I do accept also commissions.
So thank you for that information, Lida and Rick, and I'm sure in the future, if there is a possibility, we would definitely sell Lida's copies of artworks on Second Life as well. I mean, that wouldn't reflect the original price, as you said, but also would be just for the virtual world. And if you want to purchase, definitely go into the paintings, and I'll be linking Lida's website link over here. So if you want to purchase this in real life, that will also be an option available for you. And also, if you are into commissioning work, Lida very much happily is accepting commissioning work at the minute. So please do get in contact with Lida regarding any of her painting queries. So Lida, speaking of responsibility, speaking of the extracurricular work and the charity, the joining of NGOs that you have portrayed, what do you think, in your opinion, an artist plays in today's society? What role or what responsibility lies on the shoulder of an artist in today's society, please?
It's a situation regarding the role of the artists today. So I wouldn't be able to give a clear, say, cut answer to that. It depends very much on the area. It depends very much on the type of artists. A lot of things have evolved. The cultural life has evolved a lot. The art market has evolved a lot. The democratization of the art world has also evolved a lot. Let's say today it's no longer only the art galleries and the art museums, but also other venues, other non-traditional venues. Streets are also now, used for art that we value. Art establishment spaces are also used. I think, it's a really very complex question. It can possibly take about 10 to 15 pages of write-up. I like to take the role of that, let's say, category of artists who are socially engaged in their art. In fact, in 2004, I had written my first art manifesto, which was called Humanitarian Art Manifesto. Made a declaration that it's no longer art for art's sake that we want to do, what has started in the 18th century, art for art's sake, but it's art for people and society's sake. And that would stress the engagement towards society. Because sometimes contemporary art worlds, the highly individualist language which is used in artworks can almost alienate the viewers, because they're so highly individualistic that the viewers find it hard to connect intellectually, emotionally, have tried to counterbalance that, by making it possible for the viewer to connect with my artwork, because I think difficult situations going on which alienate us already, So I thought
Yes.
art be the point of connection rather than disconnection.
So Lida, with your latest exhibition in the Netherlands, we saw some of the very powerful figures and diplomats at your exhibition in Netherlands. These powerful figures have the authority to influence people and countries. What responsibilities did you feel were lying in your shoulders at that point? And describe to us the experience you felt with them. What message you let out by the end of the exhibition with these powerful figures, please?
I think it was a refreshing event for the diplomats and ambassadors who attended the event, because obviously they deal with very serious topics. It's usually, in the form of meetings and conferences and symposiums. I think the art event was a bit of a different approach to world affairs for them, if I may put it that. For me, it was a very, very, very beautiful moment. I always felt that it's a kind of ambassadorship that I'm doing with my paintings, because I'm expressing the voice of the collective in the human society. And the ambassadors are also expressing the voice of the collective of their countries. So in that sense, I feel a link with the diplomatic world very much. And it was my wish that the gentle voice of such type of flower paintings can be part of that diplomatic world, so that we don't only connect internationally either super dry meetings or talks about wars. And one interview that I have tomorrow is with the UK ambassador. She used to be active in the gender equality platform before, and I was telling her that I was very happy to see quite a number of female ambassadors at the event, because that also helps the gender equality situation. I think she's running this journal called Female Ambassadors, and that's the one that she would like to interview me for. And hopefully I'll find out more about what their experience was at the event. And very nice. It went very nice. There was a great atmosphere, and the people stayed longer than we had announced the event would derail.
Wow.
So that was a good sign. It means they were having a good time. And lots of ambassadors, Germany, Costa Rica, Brazil, I think Greece. I don't know how many exactly, but lots of them. And then there were personalities also from the ICJ, International Court of Justice, International Criminal Court. Well, The Hague is the place for such organizations. Next time, I hope you can attend. I am hoping to have an exhibition in London, but it will take more than a year to get that organized. In 2014, I had an exhibition at the LSE, London School of Economics and Political Science.
Well, that definitely sounds a successful event, Lida. Well done on that. And looking at the pictures, looking at the videos that I've been sent and it's been put out there, I think it's looked really, really fascinating, and I'm sure people would really understood the meaning behind it. That's very kind of you, Lida. Thank you so much for the invitation, and I would love to attend in the near future when there is an exhibition of you in my country. And with that being said, I have another question on the loop for you, both you, Rick, and Lida. So first to Lida, do you have any artworks that you're working on at the minute which you would like to share with us, please? And Rick, to you, that what do you think after the display of artworks over here in Second Life? Do you think would you continually display Lida's artwork, given that she's going to work on new pieces and then we'll have a new exhibition here on Second Life? Or would you also just display this for one time only and then see for the near future what it holds for exhibitions on Second Life?
Yes, I'm creating my new series to address a bit the international situation that we have both locally and globally. So I'll have pieces on the environment, I'll have pieces on the crisis we are witnessing in Europe, the fact that we need to learn from our past mistakes in general as human society. I would like to explore a little bit those themes, and as I was mentioning, I'm hoping to have an exhibition in the UK in about a year's time. I can't reveal the details at this moment. We usually keep them confidential until everything is confirmed. Yeah, and I mean, if you're based in the UK, you'll definitely be on the invitee list.
That's very intriguing, and we look forward for that, Lida. Thank you so much for that. And over to you, Rick.
Definitely. I will actually stay very close in contact with Lida. We were already talking about a collaboration together. So yeah, more info coming soon. I mean, literally, we were both actually completely overwhelmed with everything that's been going on in real life, but also in Second Life now. And yeah, really excited about the connection between her exhibition in Second Life now, and see how that turns out, and if people are as excited as we are. I'm super happy with the result of the exhibition. I think it looks really nice, and I just hope that people also see the beauty of the paintings.
For sure, that sounds very promising, and we look forward for more to come. With that, I'd like to wrap up today's evening, and thank you so much, both of you, both Lida and Rick, for your time and taking out the time, Lida, to explain each of your paintings for us, and also for going through more in-depth questions with us. I think we are overly joyed to have you here present with us and have an interaction with you. And Rick, thank you so much for introducing Lida into this virtual platform of Second Life. Once again, thank you so much for coming into Koffee with Tia, and the Tproductions team is really glad to have you here with us. And definitely we would keep in touch in the near future to discuss more projects, and very soon we would also have another interview with your new collection here with us. So looking forward for that, and all the best for the future, Lida.
Wonderful meeting you and interacting with the Second Life world, and I do look forward to keeping in touch indeed.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Tia. I really appreciate it too.
A big shout out to all the sponsors for this episode: Zaka, Black Sand, Alan Torrey, Men Selected, and The Sales Room. I'm very sure you enjoyed getting to know the artist behind the beautiful artwork, Lida Sherafatmand. Some very interesting content and interviews coming up in the near future, so stay tuned and make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you have enjoyed. I will see you in the next episodes of Koffee with Tia. Till then, stay virtual and God bless.